Okay, look, I'm reading up the stuff about folklore and that because obviously I'm putting this story together, but I've noticed something in regards to the Philippines and some of these Asian countries that I think people might need to look into. The Manananggal, the Ashwang, and the Crasiu. I'll put the link to the video. Each creature is timeline, so just look for the Manananggal, the Aswang, and the Crasiu on the timeline thing. They're all exactly the same thing. And do you know what I think is actually going on? I think these human sacrifices, just like I was saying about unorthodox. I'm not even joking. So I said it's life imitating art, imitating life. Those three creatures are said to hunt pregnant women and children, and that they suck the life force out of pregnant women. It doesn't matter like how far along they are in the pregnancy and that, but they sacrifice the children and pregnant women, virgins and pregnant women, which is unorthodox, sacrificing the mother, the one who gives life, the one who gives birth, whether that's your mother or the mother of your children. Or future parenting children, right? So it sounds like what's going on is somebody, either they need to look at their politicians, they need to look at people of power, people in the area who suddenly became famous or rich or whatever. They're doing ritual sacrifices and then letting people think it's this folklore of the Manananggal and the Ashwang and the Krasiu of Cambodia and all of that. And then, of course, you look at what's going on in those countries at the moment, like Vietnam and all of that. It's the sacrifices to the beast system, the disembowelment, the being drained of blood, being drained of their life force, decapitation, like all that sort of thing. That's what they do, because with certain sacrifices they need certain body parts or certain parts of the body, and that's what that sounds like. This is, and they're hiding it under the cover of myths and folklores. But it's actually because they're making human sacrifices and trying to cover it up because they want to control how we have children. So, like in the 50s and 60s, mostly the 60s with the CIA and that, they targeted the breaking up, the dissemination, like the breaking up of the family unit, getting rid of dad so that mum has to raise the kids and rely on the government, like that sort of thing. Making sure you marry for the wrong people and get the divorces and get the stigmatism and all of that. That's Baphomet. But in unorthodox, I'm gonna name the devil something completely different. But I'm thinking I might make the devil like a female one. I keep thinking of one of my favourite movies of all time, which is probably one of the most underrated, along with Enemy Mine, is 13th Warrior. And I'm pretty sure that beastie was a mother, was a woman. But in unorthodox, they're going after royal bloodlines. A particular royal bloodline, the bloodlines that are connected to King David in real life. So, but in the movie, I'll write it in that it's to do with a certain bloodline, yada yada. But it sounds like the Manananggal and the Aswang and this Krasiu, or however you pronounce it, they're cover-ups for human sacrifices, because anything to do with the virgin or the purity of giving birth, there's nothing more God-given and more pure and beautiful than a woman when she's pregnant. You never feel more alive than when you're first pregnant. Once your belly gets big and you're ready to scream them out of your body, it's a completely, because I carried 10 plus pounders I had big, giant, healthy babies, and they weren't sort of getting out anytime soon. Well, my firstborn tried to get out a bit too early, but only because he was running out of room. I'm utterly convinced if I had more room, he would have been quite happy to stay tucked up there. But yeah, anything that sacrifices the mother or the one who gives birth, that's Baphomet. I mean, Baal is procreation as well. Molech is, the one that insists that you sacrifice the babies. So now I need to invent a devil that's based around those. Should I make her a woman? Because that would be quite unusual. Like, Beowulf and 13th Warrior and all that made the scaredy bitches the woman. So I might make her a woman. Why? What she got against women? She hated her mother, I guess. I don't know. I'll think of something. That's the next part. So now I need to give my devil a name. But yeah, the Philippines and Cambodia and all that need to look into these women, these pregnant women and children and that are turning up disemboweled in that, because I think you're probably going to find that it's more to do with some sort of governmental or people in power sacrifices, and not a myth at all, but actual crimes that are being committed, actual murders being committed, because whether you like to admit it or not, it is really happening in real life. Like, Unorthodox, the movie, isn't just a movie. This is stuff based on my world, the occult world. So, yeah, but just the reason why I turned the Quantum Menace into a man is because when I started writing my action movie, I realised that a lot of what we were writing sounded like the Quantum Menace if you knew the Quantum Menace's story before the Quantum Menace, the Battle of Two Worlds that you know about. But the only way it kind of really made sense is if I made Olivia a man, because of what we're going to put him through and why and all of that. And I'd been toying with the idea anyway, because I am concerned about the whole, I don't want people to think I'm being woke, like I'm this feminist, like, yeah, women can do, and I mean, absolutely, because I'm proof of that. This isn't about proving my my abilities as a woman, because I'm a woman who's as good as any other man as far as I'm concerned. But I don't want to do the whole Disney Snow White woke thing, even though it's based in real life. So I figured, just for the sake of marketing, and it is using a lot of artistic license, I have to add that in. I'm just going to make her a man. And once I did that, everything fell into place. So that's why I'm doing it. And it's they're coming together to defend the woman, the mother, the one who gives birth, the one who nurtures the home and the kitchen and raises the children and tends to the man while he takes care of everything for her. Like, it's defending tradition, getting traditional marriages going again, and traditional family households, and supporting the family unit. And hopefully getting couples back together and ending some divorces that are on the go, and because then you remind people why they fell back in love with each other, and the ones where they get divorced and they break up, then it was never real love. Like, we're going back into that, like, your parents, the next generation, their parents and their grandparents and all of that, they'll stay married for like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, because they marry for the right reasons, because they're going to be raised in a world where it's about the man and woman coming together for traditional values, where the man and the woman come together for traditional values. The masculine role, the feminine role for traditional values. Whether they have careers or one of them stay at home or whatever, it's a mutual benefit because they love each other and they share the same traditional values when it comes to raising families and that. So that's what we're going. We're stepping forward in time. We're like we're branching off into a whole new way of living that's never been done before, on the basis of traditional values. So it's going to be a blend of the modern with the traditional, where it's not too technical, where technology doesn't rule, where tradition is like the staple. That's what we're going back to. But there'll be a blend of, the modern with the traditional, with a bit of tech thrown in, but where it's not ruling empires and, deciding the fates of nations. So, yeah, that's what we're stepping into. Whatever this seal is that's coming changes everything. So, yeah, so those cases, I'll put the link in the description box. Look them up, but I think you'll find that people have been getting away with making human ritual sacrifices in those countries and using people's lack of understanding and their strict religions and faiths and all of that to spook them into not asking questions. So there might need to be some investigations that go on there, I'm just saying. Okay, so I shall speak to you later. See what happens next. Something's coming, I'm telling you, something big. I think the King's about to make a decision or has made a decision that's going to change everything. And then everything's going to tip upside down and all the demons are going to fall back to hell. While the angels rise, the demons fall to hell. The angels rise to heaven and the demons fall to hell. So, okay, so I'm going to go and finish my coffee now. I just had the yummiest breakfast. I can't even. I had a fry-up of yesterday's leftover roast on toast. And now I just feel like so happy and content. I can't even. So, anyway, back to writing. I shall speak to you later. Onward and upward.